This episode of the Bill and Callie Show is brought to you by Boss put you in charge of the company picnic? Strack and Van Til can cater that. In the doghouse? Strack and Van Til's floral department can help you with that. Birthday, anniversary, shower, or get-together? Strack and Van Til's bakery and deli departments can help with that. Want additional savings? There's an app for that. Strack and Van Til, your Northwest Indiana hometown grocer since 1959, with 20 locations to serve you.
Hello, we're here at the Habitat for Humanity of Northwest Indiana, and with us we have Wende, Burbridge, and Dawn Michaels. And welcome to our show.
Thanks. Thank
and
you.
Just a few things briefly. Of course, Habitat for Humanity is probably one of our most visible and most well-known not-for-profits that we've had on the Bill and Callie Show. But just give them an overview, and I'll turn it over to you to give the details. The Habitat for Humanity of Northwest Indiana was originally founded in 1986 and has served over 110 families in the Lake County area. Then, of course, there is a partner in this, which is the Restore, which helps fund some of the projects that go on in Habitat for Humanity. And that opened up here right next door in 2005, March of 2005. So, I hope I got all that right.
You did.
Yeah, okay, awesome.
Absolutely.
So, why don't you tell us a little bit more detail, maybe some more specifics, how Habitat opened up here, and of course you have the biggest representative in the nation working for you. President Jimmy Carter.
Yeah,
who,
Rosalind, yeah.
Yeah, and is he still slinging a hammer?
He is. I just posted a story on our Facebook page about Jimmy Carter coming back from hip surgery and volunteering.
Oh my gosh, and
Yes.
he's like 97.
He is.
Right? 97 years
pretty
old,
amazing.
and he's still slinging a hammer. He's gone through brain cancer, he's gone through hip surgery,
Yeah.
and he's still out there volunteering.
With his
Amazing.
wife. That's right, he and Rosalind.
Amazing. So, well, given that, why don't we have you guys tell a little bit more about how this started in Northwest Indiana?
And also tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do here,
Right.
what your position is with Habitat for Humanity.
Well, I'm Dawn Michaels. I am the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity of Northwest Indiana. I have been the Executive Director for almost 2 years now, and I was the Development Director prior to. So it's nice that I have that insight, and when Wende has a question, she can say, I have a question about this, and I know exactly what she's talking about.
Because you've been there, done that.
Exactly, which makes it nice.
Yes.
It is very nice. I will say that, to have a boss that knows where I'm coming from and the questions and hurdles and all of that. So it's very, very helpful indeed. I've only been with Habitat for Humanity since the end of June. Dawn's done a great job of helping me get up to speed. I still have a lot to learn yet, but as Director of Development, I am looking forward to generating revenue, whether it's through events, through sponsorships, through individual giving, grants, and the like.
Awesome. So tell us a bit about the details about how this came to Northwest Indiana. It started in 1986. What was how did it come to be?
So
Who was
Habitat,
involved?
I apologize. So
Oh, no.
Habitat International started 10 years prior to, in 1976. And then they started opening affiliates throughout the nation in year after year. And Reverend Dick Rogers was instrumental in starting this. And he opened it with several board members, and they started it in July of 1986. And we started building homes. Again, as you said, the Restore came to fruition in 2005. And our second Restore, which is in Mirabel.
Right on 30.
Yes, right on Route 30. Very, very accessible.
Very visible
Yes,
and accessible, yes.
And you could save more money.
Even more money there.
Even more money.
That's right, I love your sign.
So that one actually opened in 2016, and that one's been open and doing very, very well. Our Griffith store is about 8,000 square feet, and our Maryville store is about 23,000. So it's a lot larger. Yeah, but they both have wonderful donations and wonderful treasures. So
Yeah,
I
just
encourage everybody to go.
Walking through on our way here, I was like, oh, I need to come back and do some shopping.
Exactly. You never know what you're going to find.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's talk a bit about the process for those who are not familiar with Habitat for Humanity. How do you decide to build a home? How does the family qualify for the home? How does that whole thing get started?
So I was looking to Wendy to see if she wanted to answer this. So how the process works is, number one, they have to have a need. The partner family has to have a need. They have to be willing to partner with Habitat for Humanity. That means we can take their pictures. As you can see, there's pictures behind us. And they have to be a mouthpiece for Habitat. They have to do a Dave Ramsey Financial Peace class with us, which is 9 weeks. They have to put down a deposit of a couple $1,000s, and we will work with them to help that. That's for opening their escrow and their taxes and their insurance and everything else. How we decide to build is we normally build on donated lots. We normally don't purchase any homes or lots, so people donate lots along with homes, and we can rehab houses and then also build homes.
So where are some of these lots and homes located in Lake County? What communities are they in?
They're all throughout Lake County, Indiana. We are building currently in Lowell. We have 4 homes that we've built in Lowell. We're building in Maryville, Indiana right now, Hammond, and Gary. So they're the furthest south to the furthest north of Lake County.
Right, and this is all volunteer labor, or do you have some staff members that overlook what the process is?
There are some staff. We have a construction manager who is staff, and he has an assistant. We have a volunteer coordinator who goes out to the locations as well to make sure that volunteers have everything they need and they're comfortable. And everybody else is volunteer. We will contract out certain things. A lot of times companies will donate time to help the cause or materials. But yeah, for the most part, it's volunteers.
So there's some process so that when the reveal for the family happens, that the truck doesn't pull back and they see a door at a 45-degree angle.
The family has seen the home because they have to
They are
volunteer
part-
hours.
They do have to volunteer to help.
Yeah, so
which
they're
I
right
think
along
is
there.
a cool thing.
It is.
yeah.
Help build
It
your
is.
own home, so.
Amazing. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
actually know that. I thought
Yeah.
you really did. Okay, wow.
They have to put in 300 sweat equity hours.
Wow. So that is another requirement along with the financial classes and so on. So it's not just as easy as walking in and saying, I need a home, and you guys build one. So that is interesting, and it gets them on a life path that assures some success. So
It's
that's
sustainable
amazing. It's
because they're
sustainable.
learning to budget and what it takes to finance a home and keep a mortgage and take care of all the upkeep. They're being part of the build. They get to learn some skills. Our construction manager will go out there and help them to understand the things that they need to do for maintenance in the home. So all of these things are very important so that they are successful and it is sustainable moving forward.
And how exciting to take part in building your own home, and how much more pride do you have because
Definitely.
you put that sweat equity into it.
Absolutely.
So you know
Now,
it's
do
yours.
Absolutely.
they get to pick out things like in the home? Do they have some of that input, or what does that look like?
Oh, sure. So if we know the partner family prior to, they can pick out their siding, their flooring, their cabinets, their countertops in the kitchen. A lot of if we do have certain items donated, then we are required, of course, to use the donated items, and then they don't get that choice depending on what that is.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's talk about the volunteers a bit. How do you become a volunteer, and where do they go? Is there a website that they go to say, hey, I would like to work on a house or something of that nature?
Well, I thought you two were going to be volunteering after this show, no?
Absolutely. Anytime you call us, if we're available.
Where's our tool belts?
There you go. We've got them in the barn.
Awesome. Yeah, we might.
I've already talked about wanting to come out for one of the
Yeah.
women's
Oh,
builds and
awesome,
things.
awesome.
If Jimmy Carter, for all of his health problems,
Right.
can sling a hammer, I think
Right.
Bill and Kelly can sling a hammer.
Absolutely.
Although you need to keep her on the other end because the hammer in hand near me doesn't
Can't
work
wait.
out.
Uh-oh.
There's-
Well, volunteers can rest easy because you don't have to have any skills. We will show you our construction manager's patient guy. That's what he does every day is show volunteers how there's a right way to swing a hammer. There's a right way to nail something in. And he will show you the right way to put siding on a home and from top to bottom. So you don't have to have the skills going in. It's great if you have them. We love that too because things move along a lot faster.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can go to NWIHabitat.org and look up projects or volunteer and get some information about volunteering. And you can give us a call at 219-923-7265 and just ask about volunteering and what opportunities we have. You can volunteer on a home site or you can volunteer at one of our restores as well. That for the most part is volunteers as well. Stocking shelves, cleaning items, pricing items, moving things around because they're all set. You probably saw
Sure, yeah.
everything's set up nicely so you
Of
can
course.
imagine it in your own home and so we look for help with putting all that together.
Now, if people have large items in their home, or say they're remodeling their kitchen, but their cabinets are still perfectly good, they just want a new look or something, how do they go about, does somebody come and pick them up, or is it their responsibility to rent a truck and take it, or how does that work?
Right, you can give one of the restores a call.
We also have a donation hotline, 972-3000. And Teresa is our scheduler, and she is amazing. So she will get you scheduled, and we have 2 trucks running throughout Lake County and actually Lake Porter and LaPorte County now. And we will come and pick up your items if they're larger items.
Sure.
Bedroom sets, couches, that kind of thing. If they're smaller items and you can put them in your car, then
Drop them off, yeah.
right, then you can easily drop them off because
Right.
we have 2 wonderful donation drop-off areas at both locations.
And as far as donating your time to help build, I'm thinking to myself, I'm a homeowner. There's probably projects in my own house I'd like to do, but I don't know how. So what a win-win to go out and help somebody build a home for a family that really desperately wants one and needs one. And at the same time, you're learning skills that you can take back and use in your own home.
Of course.
That's my guilty reason for wanting to do it
Yeah.
too.
And we always constantly talk about the need in Northwest Indiana, and sometimes people turn a blind eye or have blinders. And after talking to the food bank, and we're just absolutely shocked that there's that amount of level. And I don't know if you have all had the opportunity to tour the new food bank, but it is huge. But every bit of it is used,
Yes.
and that is the amazing part, that there is that much need in the area, and we come to housing, and actually with the economy, the need for affordable housing is ever growing thing. Now that's one thing. Before we move on and talk about the restore, I would like to find out more about the financial for our viewers out there that may be considering this process. So they approach you, you say you require them to have some money available to put down. What does the financing look like? Is that something that's done by the Habitat, or is it a bank arrangement that you have?
We are actually the mortgage holders. So we sell a house to a partner family at a 0 interest mortgage. And the great thing about Habitat that I absolutely love is that we are normally assisting a struggling working family that is living paycheck to paycheck, and they may be paying $800 or $900 in rent on a monthly basis. And all of a sudden, when we sell them this house, their mortgage, insurance, and taxes all come to around 500, which all of a sudden, if they're paying $800 and now they're paying $500 a month, that is $300 of disposable income every month for the rest of their working life. That is a game changer in most families.
Well, it's a game changer for them, and it's also a game changer for the community because that money goes back into that community. It makes them better citizens. It makes the neighborhood better. It's a win-win-win-win-win-win situation
Absolutely.
where everybody, it's the down trickle effect.
And they're paying property taxes. What they are normally doing with that disposable income is, they're paying for adequate child care.
Sure.
Or instead of, having to make a decision, should I buy groceries or should I buy medicine for my asthmatic child? Well, now you can buy groceries and buy the medicine.
Yes.
So they don't have to make those tough decisions
Life-changing.
anymore. Right.
Really life-changing.
And so really, and that's something I want to make sure and this is a path for them to get self-sustaining, to be independent. And a lot of people have a misconception, well, I'm getting a home. No, you have to be responsible,
Right.
and that is part of independence, getting that step towards independence. Now, what type of support do you offer when they're well on their way? Do you check in on them every once in a while? Do you require them to stop in to give you an update on what their finances are looking like?
We actually don't. Once we sell them the house, we're always here. We are always here for them if they have questions. And for the first year, there may be a couple callbacks if one of our volunteers accidentally didn't clip siding, and it's kind of hanging a little bit. We have to go back and click it in. There are a couple things that we may have to go back and just tweak a little bit in their house. But we are always here for any type of questions or anything else. We don't follow them and say, how are your finances? Because we've already qualified them through our HUD guidelines that they qualify for this house. So it's just you and I, buying a house. I mean,
Right.
Once we buy our house, the mortgage company doesn't call you and say, hey, have you gotten a raise? Have you gotten a raise yet? They don't do that. Or, hey, can
So
I
you're
buy a
not
cup of coffee?
like the Mr. Potter.
We are not. And it's a wonderful life? No,
Yes,
no,
yes.
absolutely not.
Well, let's move on to the Restore, because that is another thing that opened up that works hand in hand with Habitat. So tell us a bit about that, what the Restores are about, what can you get there, and how people, again, can donate to them.
So the Restores, we don't sell clothing items in our Restores. It's all home goods, so furniture, furnishings, and some construction items like doors and windows and trim, sinks and cabinets and things like that. They're new or gently used materials. A lot of people will come in because maybe they're rehabbing a home or they're maybe flipping a home. This is a really affordable way to get some materials to complete that process. Like you said, I mean, every time I go in there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should leave my wallet at home. I bring it because I'm supporting the mission too.
Of course, absolutely.
But there's some beautiful items in there, and every time I go in, there's something new.
What about appliances?
Yes, we do have appliances.
Appliances are actually one of our largest, one of our number one sellers. Furniture and appliances. We can't keep appliances in our Restores. They are just fly off, they don't fly off the shelf, but, they fly out the door actually.
Right.
And the thing is that the Restore helps fund the efforts of Habitat for Humanity, which is a beautiful arrangement to have that. People can go in and look for things. Now, aren't the appliances and so on at the Restore sometimes used in the house that's being built?
No.
Or is that an option? No.
No,
Okay,
so
right.
for our homes that are being built, Habitat International has a relationship with Whirlpool, and Whirlpool donates to every Habitat house being built in the United States a refrigerator and a stove.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, thank you Whirlpool, absolutely, yeah, absolutely amazing.
That is good to
beautiful,
know.
yeah.
That is really good to know. Wow. And so, again, your two locations are Maryville on US 30, and then here in Gary on Ridge Road. And the website, you want to tell us what the
NWIhabitat.org.
and that will be up on the video as we release. Let's talk about other fundraising activities that you may have. Are there any events or other things that you use as a fundraiser?
So right now I'm working on our Women Build. And so what that is we encourage companies to support or sponsor a team. It could be of volunteers, it could be of their employees or their partners or their vendors, whomever, family members that would be interested in coming out. But we ask them to sponsor a team and come out and work on a home with us. It's a great opportunity for companies to have a team building day. So you get to know each other on a whole different level.
Yeah.
Dawn actually had gotten me out to do that a few times. And yeah, I know as a hands-on experience, I saw my coworkers in a different light. I got to know them on a different level. We talked about it. It was great camaraderie.
Sure.
And
You learned how to hammer?
I did, and put siding up and put walls up and all
It's a
kinds
good
of
team
stuff.
building exercise for a company,
100%.
to put their employees out there
100%.
and make them have to learn teamwork.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And it's so positive. I know I felt like on top of the world at the end of the day. I was tired, I'm not gonna lie. But I felt like I did a really good thing that day and so did my new friends.
Sense of
And
accomplishment.
Certainly. And I was intimidated when I went out the first time for sure because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But I got over that really fast and because a volunteer coordinator and our construction manager and Dawn made us all feel very welcome. So you could expect that as a volunteer as well. It's a great opportunity.
Is there a big gala or any other things that you do throughout the year?
Not at the present time, we don't. No, we normally are just reaching out through our Women Build or our Veteran Build. We have a Veteran Build every year where we're closing. Our veteran home is in Lowell right now that we're finishing up in September. So we're pretty excited about that, to have the home dedication for Corey and Sarah. But normally what we're doing right now is our Veteran Build and our Women Build. Wendy and I are talking about doing more, but at the present time we don't have any type of gala or anything.
But now there are a lot of other organizations out there, women's sorority groups and other things that might want to have an event where all the proceeds of their event go to help you guys. And I know that I've been involved with different groups that have done things like that. So any organizations out there that want to do an event where the proceeds go to Habitat for Humanity, I can't think of a better idea.
Well, I can tell you that the Home Builders Association actually does that. So we are the benefactor of the Home Builders Association Gala, and we have been the benefactor. This will be our 3rd year. So we are very fortunate because the Home Builders Association actually has chosen us as the benefactor for their galas, and this will be the 3rd year in a row that we have been the benefactor. So their silent auction items and all the proceeds actually come to Habitat for Humanity of Northwest Indiana and Habitat for Humanity of Porter County. So we are grateful for the Home Builders Association.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Speaking of home builders associations and things like that, I believe we talked earlier before we were on camera that also Habitat will do things like help building ramps for people who need access to their home now because situations have changed. Or what if there was somebody out there whose parents sadly might have passed away, the family doesn't need the house, can they donate a home that can be rehabbed for somebody? Is that a possibility?
Absolutely. So unfortunately, our affiliate, our Habitat here in Northwest Indiana, we don't have the capacity to build ramps. So we normally refer them to another organization that does build ramps.
Okay.
But habitats throughout the United States, there are some that actually build wheelchair ramps and then do critical home repair. And again, we unfortunately we don't do either one of those.
Right, but you could probably recommend
We absolutely,
things to people.
yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so again, we have great partnerships in Northwest Indiana where we can refer people to.
Wonderful.
that. Yeah.
Good to know.
But we will, on occasion, rehab a home. We have done that, but in the past, I haven't had that experience personally.
We just closed on a house in Maryville that was a rehab that was donated to us. It was a tri-level and that was donated to us.
Oh, lovely.
So, yes, so if people actually have a house that they don't know what to do with, we actually will take those and rehab them and sell them to a partner family. Yeah. So donated lots and donated homes we're always looking for.
Or if somebody were to buy an old home that they're going to tear down because they want the lot, if it's maybe an older historic home that still has beautiful woodwork or working things in it, they could also donate those to Habitat for like the resale or something like that.
Absolutely. We're all, again, you never know what you're going to find at the
Exactly.
restore, so there are always treasures. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah, and then you can always save even more money.
That's right.
The restore.
I love it.
Those
And you
vintage
just
items.
constantly have to be
Yes,
nearby.
a lot of
a-
antique items in there that I
Absolutely.
saw. I was like,
The doors and windows,
So-
people look for that. all
And
the
it's
time.
open to anyone. I mean, and again, if you have a restore near you, if you happen to be in Maryville or off Ridge Road here, just minutes down from Griffith and Highland, and you can stop in and look to see what you can find. And
Find some kind of
by golly,
treasure.
you're going to support a great organization.
Yes.
So with that, unless you have anything else to share with us, we'll go and close out the show.
Thank you both for having us on.
Oh,
We
thank
really
you so
appreciate
much
it.
for taking
Yes.
your time out of your busy schedules, because I know how busy you must be, and we appreciate it very much.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don and Wendy. And with that, we'll say goodbye for now.
Bye.
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 This episode of the Bill and Callie Show is brought to you by Boss put you in charge of the company picnic? Strack and Van Til can cater that. In the doghouse? Strack and Van Til's floral department can help you with that. Birthday, anniversary, shower, or get together? Strack and Van Til's bakery and deli departments can help with that. Want additional savings? There's an app for that. Strack and Van Til, your Northwest Indiana hometown grocer since 1959, with 20 locations to serve you.